Hello, all you thoughtfully made people out there. It's Courtney Morrison with Made Architecture and Design, back with another week in review. So, last Saturday, we had a family day. We went to this great spot called Coffee Doodle Doo out in Paulding County. It's a coffee stand hut. I don't know what you call it, maybe food truck type space, but it's permanent. And there's a farm, and we got a hayride, and there's a petting zoo, and a giant playground, and we had a ton of fun as a family. It was a great spot. It was a great find, and we were glad to be able to do that, get some good outside time. The weather here has been beautiful, and so that was really a great time at Coffee Doodle Doo. And then on Saturday, we did a little bit of canvassing for Daniel Gaddis. Early voting is going on, and so just continuing to try to rally support, spread the message that Daniel's a city planner and he's qualified for this position and is clearly the best choice here in Marietta in Ward 3. So again, happy to support him and really, really hoping he wins the election, and we are helping him step forward into that dream and that vision that he has to be a city councilman here in Marietta. And so and then we had family time and we went to church on Sunday afternoon. On Monday, Daniel stopped by after dropping his kids off at school and gave us a little campaign debrief. We just it's great to talk through the conversations that I had, that he had, what he's hearing, what I'm seeing, those types of things, and give him the feedback that I've gotten from my canvassing time, and be able to help him understand what the constituents are saying, what we're hearing, our experience in the community, and things like that. So that was really great. Got to talk to him and get caught up on the campaign overall and sort of what's going on really in Marietta and the other wards and things like that. And so, that was a lot of fun to hear his perspective on things. And then I got some plan updates made for the HVAC company headquarters space that I've been working on. We got another round of comments, permit comments, and so got those addressed and sent back to the owner for resubmission. Then on Tuesday, I worked through some revisions for the historical remodel project that I've been working on, and went and made a site visit to a project that's now under construction over in Dunwoody Country Club. So I went out there, got to see some of the demolition, walked the site with the general contractor, and talked through some of his initial questions and things he was finding in demo, and things that I walked through and saw and asked some questions of my own. And so it was really great to be able to do that and see the project coming along for those owners. So really excited for that. And then I recorded the week in review on Tuesday afternoon and got that uploaded and posted. And then on Wednesday morning, I had admin leadership team meeting for the church that we're involved in, as we really try to work through a budget and get that ready to present to our sending church. And so really trying to bring all of that together with a limited amount of data. And then continue to work on the historic remodel and making updates. And really, these are not plan updates; these are facade updates, because the way the historical guidelines, design guidelines read is that they're primarily concerned with that street-facing facade. And so, working through some of their changes and answering some of their questions and things like that of what they feel like they can approve, and that we can get through. And so I sent that back to the city on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we actually received preliminary approval, I should say, because it can't be approval over email without a board meeting. So, but we were given good positive feedback. And so, but the house is drastically different. I'll probably make a separate video about this at some point. That the existing house is there. We designed one house and presented it, and then got denied, and then got feedback. And after several rounds of feedback, the current house, to first proposed to now second proposal, it's a drastically different house. But I do think that we've achieved the goal of taking the existing house, doing a new house that is in keeping with the existing house, which is ultimately what the guidelines are looking for, and what I think the historical board is looking for. And what I understand from them is that no one in this historic jurisdiction has proposed as big of a remodel, as big of a project, as big of a change to one of these historic homes. So we're really it's precedent setting here, and so I understand from their perspective that anything they allow us to do, they're going to have to allow the next applicants to do. And so I'm sensitive to that, and so we really have communicated well with the city and the historic board, and I believe integrated all of their feedback. And I do think the final design is better, and I think it is more in keeping with the house and with the neighborhood. So excited to get that through. We'll go to the board in a week or so, I think on November 3rd, and I'll give you guys an update then of what we have achieved. And so Thursday afternoon, I went to parent-teacher conference and for my daughter at her school, and then sent out backgrounds for the historic remodel to the structural engineer so that he could keep moving, because the first things I sent him were the previous design, so we have to send him the new design so that he can engineer the new roof, new porch, and different facade and windows and all those things that go into that. And so one thing I do want to touch on though for the historic remodel is that it's a big lesson learned for me, and so in the future I will not approach this the same way. And so what I realized happened is we made decisions, we made a design that we thought we could get through, sent it in the application process, and then we're denied. And what I realized is that really we need to do a bit more hand holding. We need to get more buy-in on the front end. And I think this applies to multiple situations when we're dealing with municipalities and going to the historic board and getting buy-in, going to city council getting buy-in, those types of things, planning and zoning getting buy-in. And so really the more departments that a project touches, the more we need to be intentional about going to them before we submit the application to get buy-in. This may seem obvious to you guys, and it's definitely something that I've actually done and been a part of before, but in this case I just thought I just didn't do it, and so really I think ultimately it cost us and the owners some time, and so that's unfortunate, but I do think we've gotten to the right spot, and there was really only about a 30-day delay in there between meetings. And so but I will handle this differently in the future. So that's just a lessons learned and something that I wanted to talk through with you guys. So on Friday we left town to go to Savannah to visit some family and spend the weekend down there, and and then we came back on Sunday. So that's all I have for now. If you guys have any questions about who we are, what we do, or how we do it, leave them in the comments below. I would love to interact with you guys there, or perhaps address a comment in a future week in review video. So in the meantime, you guys be particular, and I'll talk to you next week.